A very good morning to the 7th standard students. So in this video we are going to start the new chapter, transport of substances in living beings. In this chapter we are going to discuss the transport of different substances like nutrients, oxygen, carbon dioxide, like gas molecules, different minerals, water molecules and waste products. So these materials, these substances and all transported from one part to another part of the body. So we are going to discuss the living beings, all the living beings, the transport of substance in animals, unicellular organisms and multicellular organism, and even higher organism like human beings, and transport of substance in plants. So in plants, xylem and phloem, like tissues, they are helping the transportation. So in this chapter we are going to discuss the transport of different substances in all the living beings. Our body needs the transport system to transport the different substances from one part to the another part. So some of the important substances, that is nutrients. So we are intaking the food. Our food is digested by the digestive system. So from the small intestines, the nutrients and all transported to each and every cell. So we need the transport system to transport the nutrients. So all the nutrients reach the each and every cell, then only it will broken down and it will provide the energy. So nutrients must be transported. The second one is oxygen. Oxygen will be absorbed by the lungs, our respiratory system. So from the atmosphere, the lungs will absorb the oxygen. So from the lungs to the oxygen reach the each and every cell. So oxygen should be transported. Then different types of minerals. So we are intaking the minerals like sodium, potassium, chlorine, like various type of minerals we are intaking. So that also will be important for various chemical reactions in our body. So that minerals and all transported to different parts of the body. And water, we are drinking the water, that water should reach different body parts. So the water also will be transported by the transport system. Then waste products, so the waste products should be reaching to the excretory system. So we are drinking the water, the the materials, we are eating the food. So everything will be waste products will reach to the excretory system. So that and all will be transported to the excretory system by means of transport system. So we need the transport system to transport nutrients, oxygen, different minerals, waters and waste products. Next, we are going to focus the transport of substances in animals. Unicellular organisms, that means this organism is made up of only a single cell, such as amoeba, paramecium. So they don't have any special organ for transporting. So they don't have a separate transport system. But these organisms like amoeba means they will take the they will directly from the surrounding they will intake the oxygen and directly removing the carbon dioxide by means of diffusion. Similarly, the food materials, water, minerals, everything, they are directly taken up by the cell, and the waste materials directly removing from the body. So this kind of transportation will happen in unicellular organism like amoeba and paramecium. Next, the simple organisms such as Hydra. The Hydra is made up of multi cells, but it is not a organ grade of organization. So the many cells will present, but there is no tissue grade, there is no organ level, there is no organ development in this organism. So this kind of organism like a Hydra, the transportation is taken place by means of the water. With the help of the water current, the body wastes from different parts of the body will be removing. So with the help of the water current, these organisms and all, they are doing the transportation. Higher organisms like mammals, human beings, like these organisms and all, the organ system will be developed of highly developed. So they have a specialized organ system like a digestive system, like a respiratory system, like a excretory system. They have a separate system for transport. So in human beings, the transport system is called as the circulatory system. Okay, so higher organism means they have a separate organ system for transportation. In human beings, we are telling that is a circulatory system. This is the picture of a paramecium. Paramecium is a unicellular organism, so single cell. So in this cell, they are doing the transportation by means of direct diffusion. Directly the oxygen is intake and directly the carbon dioxide removing to the environment. The same way the food materials, nutrients and minerals, everything they are directly taken up by the surrounding, and the waste materials directly excreted from the cell. So this kind of transportation will happen in a paramecium. This is the picture of hydra. In hydra, the transportation is taken by means of water. With the help of the water current, all the waste materials or from different paths they will be removing. So with the help of the water current, the the transportation will taken place in hydra. Next, we are going to focus the transport system in human beings. That is, in human beings, the transport system is called as a circulatory system. So, in human beings, it is made up of three components. Circulatory system is consists of three components. That is, blood vessels, and heart. Blood vessels, and heart. So, these are the components of the circulatory system. Human blood is a red colored fluid. It is called as a connective tissue because it consists of the cells, blood cells also. It will flow within the tubes, that is called as the blood vessels. So the blood is with the flow is within the blood vessels. It carries the various substances such as nutrients, minerals, salt, respiratory gases, hormones, even waste products. The respiratory gases in the sense oxygen and excretory gas carbon dioxide. So waste products are from different parts of the body they are transporting. So blood is made up of plasma as well as the blood cells. The plasma is a straw colored, that is yellow colored fluid. So the plasma, within the plasma, three different types of blood cells will present. That is red blood cells, white blood cells and blood platelets. The first cell, red blood cells, is otherwise called as erythrocytes. So the cells contains the red colored pigment hemoglobin. So because of this pigment only, the color of the blood is red in color. The hemoglobin molecules combines with the oxygen to form a oxyhemoglobin. In the blood, the RBC contains the hemoglobin. That hemoglobin only carries the oxygen. White blood cells are otherwise called as the leukocytes. So these blood cells are larger than red blood cells. They are spherical in nature and they have a nucleus. So different lobes nucleus will present. So they do not contain the hemoglobin, so that they are white in color. The WBC, white blood cells and all different types, agranulocytes and granulocytes. So they are mainly doing the action, that is body, it will protect the body against the disease causing microorganisms. The third type is blood platelets. They are otherwise called as a thrombocytes. They are irregular shaped cells which are also colorless. They do not have a colored pigment. So they are helping for the blood clotting. So if any accident, injury may happen, means the bleeding will be stopped by means of the blood platelets. So these are the three types of cells: red blood cells, white blood cells and blood platelets. Next, we are going to focus the blood vessels. Blood vessels are the tube-like structure that will form a network throughout the body. All over the body, the blood vessels are connected. The blood flows within the blood vessels. There are three kinds of blood vessels present in the body. That is arteries, veins and capillaries. Arteries are the vessels that transport the blood from the heart to the different parts of the body. So they are generally carry the oxygenated blood. So arteries are transporting from the heart to different parts of the body. So they will carry the oxygenated blood. Veins are the vessels, they carry the blood from different parts of the body to the heart. So it will carry the blood that will collected from different parts of the body to the heart. So they generally carry the deoxygenated bloods. And the third one is the capillaries. Capillaries are the thinnest blood vessels that connect the arteries and veins. So they have a extremely thin walls. So they allow the diffusion of substance into and out of the blood. So the capillaries are present around the major organs of the body. So they will allow the diffusion. So it will make the substance into and out of the blood. So that it is present all the major organs of the body contains the capillaries. So these are the three types of blood vessels: arteries, veins and capillaries. From the heart, arteries will collect the oxygenated blood and it is transported throughout the body, all different parts of the body. Veins means veins collect the deoxygenated blood throughout the part of the body, different parts of the body, and to the heart they are giving. So the capillaries are the thinnest blood vessels. They are connecting both arteries and veins. Their main purpose for diffusion of all the substance. Next, we are going to see the differences between the arteries and veins. Arteries have a thicker walls because the blood flows with a high pressure, so that they have to withstand. So the arteries have the thicker walls, but the veins have the thinner walls because there is no that much pressure of blood flow in the veins, so they have a thinner walls. Arteries are placed deep within the body. It will be placed located deep side of the body, deep within the body, but veins are located the surface of the body, near to the surface. They are not that much deep within the body. The blood flows in the arteries is great pressure because they have a thicker walls, so they can withstand. But the veins, the blood does not flow that much pressure. In arteries, there are no walls present within the walls of the arteries. There is no intermediate wall present. But in veins, walls are present within the walls of veins. So this is the difference, major differences between the arteries and veins. So apart from that, so majority of the organs, arteries and all, they will carry the oxygenated blood, and the majority of the veins will carry the deoxygenated blood. Next, we are going to see the heart. Heart is the thick muscular organ which is located inside the chest cavity between the two lungs. So it is made up of the special kind of tissue that is called cardiac muscles. The pumping action of the heart, that is the contraction and relaxation of the heart. So it will make the pumping action. So the pumping action of the heart makes the blood will flow into the blood vessels, through the blood vessels. The heart is a four-chambered structure. It is divided into four chambers. So, the heart, roughly we can tell the size of the heart is the person's fist. Fist in the sense our closed palm. It is not bigger than the person's fist. It is divided internally into four chambers, that is two atrium and two ventricle. The atrium, two atrium, left atrium and right atrium, and the two ventricles, left ventricle and right ventricle. The upper chambers are all called as the atrium and lower chambers are all called as the ventricle. The left side, left atrium opens into the left ventricle, and the right side, right atrium opens into the right ventricle. So the muscles around the chambers of the heart, they can contract and relax rhythmically. So the contraction and relaxation will happen continuously. So it only makes the pumping action. The rhythmic contraction and relaxation of the heart muscles are called as a heartbeat. So normal heartbeat is about 72. So 60 to 80 times per minute. So correctly we can tell means 72 times per minute. So the heartbeat forces the contraction and relaxation will makes the blood to flow from the heart to the lungs as well as heart to the different body parts. We can feel the throbbing sensation. We can feel various places such as wrist, neck, inner arm. So here and all we can feel that throbbing sensation because the blood vessels are come to the surface. So it is a direct measure of the heartbeat. So this is called as a pulse. We can say that is a pulse rate. So this is about the heart. So the structure of the human heart is consist of right auricle, right ventricle, left auricle and left ventricles. So they will have the various types of blood vessels, that is aorta and veins. So we have various types of blood vessels that will connect the four chambers. So from the heart, the arteries will carry the oxygenated blood to the different parts of the body. At the same time, the veins will carry from the different parts of the body, the veins will carry the deoxygenated blood and it will give to the heart. So from the heart, the deoxygenated blood is handed over to it will be carried to the lungs for purification, gaseous exchange. So this is about the transport system in human beings. So in the human circulatory system, blood vessels and heart. It consists of the blood vessels and heart. So this is the circulatory system in human, the transport system. So in this video we saw about the what is transportation and what are the substances and all transport, and transport of substance in animals, especially unicellular organisms and multicellular organism in human beings. Thank you, children.